and welcome to the So Essential vlog. I'm really happy today to bring to you my first few summer makes that I've made this year. So I finally got stuck into all those gorgeous summer fabrics on our website. And I'm going to show you what I've made so far and talk about what I'm going to be making over the next few months. So as usual, I'll put links to the relevant blog posts and to our website below, so you'll be able to find all of the patterns and the fabrics if you're interested. And I'm going to start to talk today by talking to you about this t-shirt dress that I've made. So I first got the idea for this dress. I was flicking through a catalogue that I had sent to me at home, and you'll be able to see the image on the screen now. There was just a really simple t-shirt dress that I liked the look of, that I thought would be great for on holiday, for chucking over my bikini. But also those sorts of dresses are always really useful for me just day to day. When I'm doing school run and I'm at home, quite a few days of the week. So just casual t-shirt dresses, just easy to throw on and nice and comfortable and cool in the summer. And unbelievably, I didn't have one in my wardrobe, so I decided I wanted to make something similar, and I chose our gorgeous geometric jersey fabric, which is you'll see has got a lovely drape. It's lovely and lightweight. It's really cool. It's a cotton jersey. And yeah, it's just sewn up really well. I'm really pleased with the results. It was easy to handle. I did use my overlocker to make the dress, but I twin needled the hems and the neckline, and that worked well as well. So yeah, really great fabric. I think the colours are just perfect for summer. The mint green's just really fresh looking. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the dress. The pattern that I used was Burda 6540, and you should be able to see that on the screen now. That is actually sort of like a slash neck, simple t-shirt dress pattern, I suppose. So I took that as the basic starting point, and I knew I'd have to alter it to recreate the look of the ready-to-wear dress that I showed you earlier. So the first thing that I needed to alter was the neckline, because obviously the neckline on the Burda dress came straight across there. I'm never really very keen on those necklines myself, so I just wanted to create a sort of round neckline. So in order to do that, I just drew it myself on the pattern piece, and believe it or not, I actually used a dinner plate, which is quite a good tip, but obviously you could use a French curve if you wanted to. But yeah, I just made a couple of toiles with some scraps of jersey fabric that I had. I just made the sort of top half of the bodice, just to test that I was happy with the new neckline. And then once I'd got that right, I was ready to cut the pattern out. And then the other adjustment or alteration I made to the pattern was I sewed elastic in at the waist, and then I made a Rolu strap, however you say that, on my overlocker, which you can see a video on our YouTube channel of how to do that. It's really easy. And I just made this little bow and sewed that on at the front. So that was on the advice of Angela, because she saw the ready-to-wear dress and she pointed out that on that dress it was just a straight t-shirt dress, and then they'd tied a drawstring round it, and the gathers weren't very even and wouldn't stay even. It just didn't quite look right. So I think that this suggestion was much better, and just makes the dress hang more nicely and more evenly. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this pattern hack. I also had to adjust the armholes slightly because I felt that they were a bit big, so I just lifted those about an inch. But that's one of the features I really like about this pattern as well, is that it's not a separate sleeve. It's like a raglan sleeve almost, I guess, or a grown-on sleeve, which is great for summer again, just nice and cool. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this pattern, and the way this has turned out. I think the pattern is quite a good sort of basic block to work with for these style of dresses. It's quite easy to hack because there's just the two pattern pieces. So yeah, that's the first one that I've made for the summer. So the next thing I made for this summer is this lovely Hollyburn skirt by Sewaholic Patterns. I used one of our cotton lawn fabrics to make this. I loved this fabric as soon as I saw it. I just thought it was beautiful. I thought the print was so unusual and vibrant. I love the way you've got the tulips and then you've got, not sure what these purple flowers are, but I just thought it was just such a lovely contrast, so interesting and unusual. And it is really lovely, lightweight cotton lawn, so it drapes beautifully, hangs beautifully. The pattern, as I say, is by Sewaholic. I really like the pockets that come with it. I think they're a lovely shape. And I love all of the seams as well. There's a seam down the centre front. And I just think that makes the skirt hang really nicely. It's a really feminine feeling skirt. You probably can't quite see it, but the length is just right on me. There is a blog post on this skirt if you want to see pictures of it, but the length is just right. It sort of hits me at just above the knee, and I'm 5'6", so yeah, that's really perfect. I did make an alteration because I sewed lining into this skirt, so I added a button and button loop on at the waistband to fasten it because I could only take my zip up to the waistband. As a result of the lining, which I used our white poly cotton to do. But yeah, I'm just absolutely thrilled with this skirt. I've worn it loads already. It's really comfortable, really cool, just lovely and feminine looking though. I just think it hangs beautifully. It's a really well cut pattern and I just can't recommend it highly enough to you. As I said, there is a full blog post, so you'll be able to see that if you want to. There was one suggestion that I made with this pattern, which is I would stay stitch the skirt pieces before you start sewing them together, whereas the pattern instructions suggest that later down the line, which does run the risk of your fabric stretching out of shape slightly. So I would just recommend doing that at the start before you start sewing those pieces. But other than that, fantastic pattern, came together really, really well, dead easy to follow, dead easy to make, and I just absolutely love this skirt. So the other thing that I wanted to share with you, which I've been wearing this summer and which I've made for this summer, is my Simplicity 2154 pencil skirt, which is a vintage inspired pattern. Some really lovely detail on this skirt. There's a double set of darts at the front and 2 at the back as well. I think that's a really nice feature. Really simple pattern to make, and I made it in our Ohio cotton sateen fabric. Which is just absolutely gorgeous, to be honest. It just feels so soft. It's got that lovely soft handle to it. I wore it out for a meal recently and I couldn't stop stroking my legs, which probably looks a bit weird to everybody else, but it just feels so soft. It's such a pleasure to wear, and we do this in a variety of different colourways and prints, so have a look on the website. As I said, the links are below. And then I wore it with this satin backed crepe, Mystique satin backed crepe in fuchsia, cami top, which is another Simplicity pattern, 1366, and I did a time-lapse video of the making of this top, which you can actually see on our YouTube channel as well if you're interested. But it was a really super simple, quick and easy make, and I'm getting lots of wear out of it. I like the way you can dress this skirt up with the satin back crepe cami. Or I can wear it with, I've got like some fitted vest tops, black vest tops, which I've worn it with during the day with flat sandals as well. So easy to dress up or down, but I really enjoy wearing this outfit, so I wanted to share that with you. And there is a full blog post, as I said before. All of the blog posts, you can find the link to our blog below. So that's what I've made so far. And then currently I'm working on Vogue 1395. So I've always really liked that pattern. I thought it was a lovely day dress because it's got sort of a V-neck at the front, almost like a raglan sleeve, I suppose. It's almost sleeveless. And then it's got an overlay which you tie at the front, and it's just a nice length. It's nice, and there's a little bit of gathering detail across the back of the shoulders. And yeah, just generally looks like a really lovely pattern. And I'd been putting it off a bit because I'd read a few people had said that the armholes on that pattern come up big, but then I thought about it and thought, actually, I can adjust that easily, it's not a problem. And then I read loads of really positive blog posts about the pattern and how much people loved it as well, so I thought, right, let's just crack on and get on with this. So I'm making it in this beautiful spun viscose that we've just recently added to the website, which is just absolutely delightful. It's so lightweight and drapey. Obviously, because it's viscose, it's going to be nice and breathable for the summer. So yeah, I just love the colours on it. I just love the pattern, the print, the design. I think it's, quite unusual. So yeah, I've got that cut out and that's on my sewing table at the moment. I constantly have a fitting problem whenever I make something that isn't a simple cami. I have problems fitting around the shoulder and the back area, and it's because I've got a high round back and I've got forward thrust shoulders. So I'd been experimenting and investigating this issue over recent months, and Angela had been helping me. And the book that I can't recommend highly enough is the Fit for Real People book. So you should be able to see that on the screen now, and we do sell that on our website. So the links to the website are below. But I've really got into this book now, and I've been using it to make the Vogue 1395. What I really like about it is they cover so many different fitting problems and scenarios, and then for each one they actually give you variations, so different types of garment that you might have to make those alterations and adjustments to. So for my issues, for example, I wasn't quite sure if it was just forward thrust shoulders or if it was just a high round back. And through this book, I've discovered that the two often go hand in hand. So I've actually got both. And that just kind of cemented that for me and helped me to realise that. And it also said that it's often a problem that swimmers experience. Well, I used to be really big into swimming when I was younger. So again, that kind of gave me the confidence, yes, I've got to the bottom of what this fitting problem is. So then it tells you how to make the relevant alterations to your pattern pieces. It also tells you how to tissue fit, so you can try the pattern tissue on rather than having to make toiles. Personally, I still like to make a toile if I've got time, because I'm getting quite sort of meticulous about getting the fit right of things. But then it also goes into detail, as I say, about different types of garments and different types of sleeve you might be making the adjustments to, for example. So I just can't recommend this book highly enough. It has got quite a dated cover. It's quite sort of, I guess it must have been around sort of the 80s, judging by the clothes that the people are wearing in the book, but the advice is absolutely timeless and I can't recommend it highly enough. And it's Angela's favourite book for fitting and pattern alterations as well, and she's been sewing for over 60 years, so that's a good commendation in my book. So yeah, that's currently what I'm making. And then I'm also hoping to make, we've got a beautiful white floral scuba on the website, which I've talked about in a previous fabric haul vlog. And I've been desperate to make something with that. And I created a pin board on our Sew Essential Pinterest page. You can find that if you go onto Pinterest, where I've just gone through a whole sort of series of different ideas. I originally started off thinking I wanted to make a bodycon dress with some sort of sleeve on it. Then as the weather's heated up and I've looked at the fabric, thought it's more of a summery fabric, I decided maybe I wanted to do something sleeveless. And then I started looking at fit and flare dresses because I'd seen those made in scuba and I like the structure that you could get. But I've finally settled on a pattern I know definitely what I'm going to make now. And it was inspired by a ready-to-wear garment that I found on the internet, which you should be able to see on the screen now. I just really liked the sort of cut out armholes here and the high neck. I just think that's quite a flattering sort of cut. And I came across Simplicity 8330 recently, and there's lots of different variations of this pattern. There is a backless variation which you can make, but I'm not going to make that. I'm going to make one with a back. But yeah, I just think that pattern is just so classic. I love the clean lines on it. I'm probably going to omit the waist seam because Angela said, why do you need that? And I think she's right, I probably don't need the waist seam. So other than that, it looks like a fairly simple sew. Yeah, and it is actually for a woven fabric, but Angela said because scuba hasn't got huge amounts of stretch, actually probably a woven pattern should be fine for that fabric. So, you know, that's just something to bear in mind when you're working with scuba, is just judging how much stretch there is and whether you think you need a stretch pattern or a woven pattern. But Angela said she thinks I should be able to get away with a woven pattern for that one, so I'm really looking forward to cracking on with that and can't wait to make that. And then other than that, I'm really keen to make a couple of cotton sundresses. So I've been looking at the Sew Over It Rosy dress, which I think is really lovely. I've seen some lovely versions out there and I've had the pattern recommended by quite a few people. And then another really popular one, the Sewaholic Canby dress. Again, seen loads and loads of gorgeous versions of the Canby dress. So yeah, I'd like to make both of those really. We've got a great range of cotton fabrics. I'm sitting looking at a pile of new ones that we've got to get on the website as well. So yeah, that's definitely on the list. And then finally, I'm also looking at we've got a beautiful chiffon with sequins on it, which just sparkles and is just beautiful. It's got purples and blues and greens in it, and I just think that would make the most gorgeous cover up for the pool on holiday over my bikini. So I'm looking at New Look 6431 for that, or McCall's 5400. So I'd like to have a go at that. I'd like to eventually sew some swimwear. I'm not quite ready for that yet, so I thought a nice thing to try would be just to make a nice cover up for the pool. And that's as far as my plans go for now, so I hope you've enjoyed listening to that. I'll definitely share the subsequent things that I've talked about this morning or today. I'll share those with you on another vlog in the near future as soon as I've whipped them up. And that's it from me today, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.